What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. This one I am really excited to talk about. And I'm honored. I think we have a great knife community here for the most part. There's a couple of idiots here and there, but I tend to just ignore them. But this came from a really awesome guy, Mr. Ed. And this is just a loner, sad to say. Because there's only 100 of these. This is a collaboration between RJ Martin, which I have a Q36 SS that I own, and Shirogorov, of which I don't own any Shirogorovs. Partially because I don't love their flipper tabs in general, and we'll talk about that because I have some other Shirogorovs from Mr. Ed. But this collaboration just dropped like last week of filming. Last week from the time I am filming. And it was a Recon 1 exclusive. And there was only 100 made. It was a lotto. I joined the lotto. I was not worthy. Mr. Ed and my other friend Freeze Arno and Doc Salt, like all of the big guys were worthy. I was not, because I'm a little guy. So I was not worthy of the random lotto. Yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. I'm not sure I really have anything negative to say about it. So if you're looking for negativity, you might want to check a different video. So let's just zoom in. First off, I'm going to put up here in the corner just a picture of a lot of the specs rather than go over all of the details. One of the specs on their site, they said it was 9 inches overall, but it's really 8 3/4. The rest of the specs were pretty much right on. That particular spec, I am not sure where, I don't know how you measure 9 inches, but that's okay. So let's zoom in and yeah. So they've done other collaborations with RJ Martin. Shirogorov has, but I believe this is the first bolster type, the first one with bolsters. The other ones have just been either carbon fiber scales or micarta scales, things like that. Just kind of one piece scales, if you will. This is amazing. What's really cool is this is contoured down. I don't know if you can really tell here. So it does kind of contour down, and where they contour down, you get this micro milling on the titanium scale, or the titanium bolster. And really down deep in here, these little, that's just amazing attention to detail and just quality milling. And then the milling stops up here on the flat part, which is where the carbo tie, so this is carbon fiber with titanium dust mixed in. Super cool. This is the ash lava pattern, I believe they call it. Now, one negativity is I wish it was a little more vibrant red. And we'll zoom out here in a minute. I'll show it up against my Q36 SS for just a comparison. So that would be maybe my only little nitpick. Titanium backspacer, titanium pocket clip with this really deep milled into the carbon, the carbo tie. It works fantastic. It looks a little odd maybe, but it just works in your pocket like nobody's business. Again, you've got that same milling over here on the spot that the carbo tie is narrowed down. It's just amazing. Blasted titanium pivot collars. And if we take a look at the blade itself, blasted grind, satin flats. You've got the Shirogorov bear, and you've got the RJ Martin logo there. And that's it. I mean, don't even know what more to say about it. It's just, I'm kind of speechless. Heavy milling on the inside and some pocket lint because, well, Mr. Ed told me to carry it. So I have been. Can't get it out of my pocket. Can't get it out of my hand. Here you can see this one is number 36 of 100. On their limited runs like this, that's how they do that. They mark each one with number X out of 100. Some of the other collabs that they've done, either with RJ Martin or others, because they've done collabs with Todd Begg and Sinkovich, and like there's been a bunch of collaborations, and they always kind of mark them in that manner. Some have been runs of 100, some have been runs of 300, things like that. So here is the red Mars. I don't remember exactly what it is. Mars something. Fat carbon. I did not get the one with carbo tie. I wished it was, but it wasn't. And there's really no distinct difference. Like the carbon fiber versus the carbon tie. Yeah, the carbon tie has titanium dust mixed into the mixture. But for all intents and purposes, looking at it, handling it, you're not going to really notice. So my point on this one is, yes, the red here is a little more vibrant, but this is more of the lava, ash lava type coloring. So it's not supposed to be as vibrant. That's just me. If I were designing my own, my wish list, it would be a little bit more vibrant on the red. What's cool about this, amongst all of the other things I've already mentioned, is you get the best of both worlds. And what I mean by that is when I picked up this Q36 SS, which is their super slim, you get a super thin blade and a super thin handle. And when you grab this, or if you're going to use this in hard use, whatever hard use means, it feels a little thin in your hand. Okay. The RQ36 gives you that grip in your hand with that still very thin blade. So the blade on both of these are 0.134 thick. And your scales are different, as you can see here. It's much thinner. Now, they also do, RJ Martin does do his own Q36, which is thicker like this. And I think the blade is a little thicker on the Q36. I don't have one, so I can't say for sure. But in the ZT collaboration that RJ Martin did, this is the ZT006, it is a little thicker than the Shirogorov collaboration, but the blade thickness is much thicker. So that's why I kind of think this is the best of both worlds here, where you get the thicker handle and the thinner blade. The action on this is incredible. Okay. This one's just running on bearings and it works great, except the detent on mine is really stiff. I wish the detent was slightly lighter. This one is on roller bearings, single row roller bearings. So normal bearings have balls in a cage. These have rollers, and I'll put a picture up here so you can see what that looks like. This picture is not of this knife taken apart, but it's another one that Mr. Ed has loaned me in, and you'll see in a future video. But it's a good example of what that is. Now, what you can also hear on this is kind of a double clack clack on the opening. I love that. I have not been able to stop handling this. Now, the action on this one is good. It's not quite as good as the other RJ collaboration that Mr. Ed lent me, but that's because this one is just straight from the factory and about a week old. It'll break in a little bit. And the other one that Mr. Ed sent is he's taken it apart, he's cleaned it all out, and he's put in different lube. He used KPL on his. And this is just the factory grease, whatever they're using at Shirogorov in Russia. I'm really honored to have friends in this community that are going to loan me things like this. Like, I really am. I would love to buy this. I know he's not selling it. Mr. Ed is not selling it. I know there are some on the secondary market already. I've seen one at a retailer that I won't name for $1,000 more than the drop price during the lotto. I had an opportunity to get one and I made a mistake and I just let it slip through my hands, and I won't go into the details. This is the VC Edge interface, which kind of actually the interface, RJ Martin makes one that's called the Helium. This one weighs in at 1.5 ounces. There is it's basically this exact same knife, but thinner, has a big fuller, and it weighs in at like 2 ounces. Different materials and things like that. It's on par with the VC Edge interface. And then we'll just line up the RJ Martin Custom and the other Collab. And so anyway, my point is, if one of you other 99 people, 98, because I know another friend bought one, so he's not selling it. If one of the other 98 or 97, because I don't want that one that's on the retailer, are interested in selling yours at a reasonable price. These were $1,850. I'm not going to pay $3,000. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. If we want to work a normal deal, let me know down below or hit me up on email, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, because I would be interested, but at a reasonable price. Guys, there's just something about... Now, Shirogorov is a huge name. Make super precision, super awesome stuff that I've never really been attracted to. But this one and the other RJ collaboration that I have in the box from Mr. Ed, I'm very much attracted to. And I very much might buy one of the other one from him. I don't know. We're still, it's an option. If I don't buy it, he may sell it to somebody else. I don't know. I think it's awesome. If you guys have one, let me know your thoughts down below. If you don't have one, let me know your thoughts down below. And please go check out my RJ Martin playlist over here in the corner. And again, thank you, Mr. Ed. He saw me posting about how I missed out on this. And he reached out and said, hey, do you want me to send it to you? And I said, yeah. And so he put everything in a Pelican case for me, sent me 6 amazing knives, and here we are. Thanks for watching, guys. I greatly appreciate your time.